All right, no hesitation. This video is information technology perspective. And it shows here, okay, the perspective focuses on non-agile approaches to IT initiatives. For information regarding agile approaches within information technology, okay, these are next to that. So let's read at the center here. And then I'll start basically moving to these ones here. Information technology perspective highlights the characteristics of business analysis when undertaken from the point of view of the impact of change on the information technology systems. Interesting. Information technology systems. It's the first time where it clicks the information technology systems, which are IT and whatever we call, whatever computers are used to for these days, is literally just the translation or the transferring of data. Isn't that the case, right? And almost everything is built around that data. It's like the data to kind of like design a website, the data to kind of like color, the data of colors, the data of structures, approaches, all of them. Kind of interesting. When working in the information technology discipline, business analysts deal with a wide range of complexity and scope of activities. Initiatives may be as small as minor bug fixes and enhancements, or as large as re-engineering the entire information technology infrastructure for an extended enterprise. Business analysts are called upon to work with the diverse level of knowledge and skills among stakeholders to deliver valuable solutions to their IT needs. Again, like business analysts have to be considerate about this stuff. This perspective focuses on non-agile approaches to IT initiatives. It seems like IT, even though IT uses, like initiatives may be as small as minor bug fixes and enhancements to as large as re-engineering an entire information technology structure for an extended enterprise. Being able to effectively articulate the business's vision and needs to technical stakeholders is central to the success of a business analyst. Weirdly so, that's where most of our work lies. It's like, what do they want and who's the person that's going to make it happen? And those are the technical people, whether they make it happen in an IT perspective or they make it happen in a build approach or like mechanical, I don't know. Business analysts proactively collaborate with both the business stakeholders and the development teams to ensure that needs are understood and aligned with organizational strategy. A business analyst frequently plays the role of the translator who helps business and technology stakeholders understand each other's needs, mediator, constraints and context. The concept of solution design is appropriate in technology context, and from the IT business analyst's point of view, however, the term design when discussed with an IT setting is generally assumed mean technical design or utilization of technologies to solve problems. Business analysts within an IT context define the elaborate solution requirements or participate in solution design when business stakeholders and maintaining separation with technical design. Again, like what they're doing is kind of like relating information back and forth in order for like a clearer image. In IT context, the term design has traditionally been reserved to solution for technical design performed by developers, IT architects, or solution architects. All work done by business analysts is covered by the term requirements, including concepts such as definition and design of business processes, user interfaces, reports or other elements of the solution relevant to stakeholder outside of the implementation team. Business analysts working on the context may refer to the term solution requirements instead of design in order to maintain clear separation of responsibility. Business analysts working in information technology environment consider their tasks in light of three key factors: solution impact, organization maturity, change of scope. The solution impact is the value and risk of the solution to the business. Organization maturity is the formality and flexibility of the organization change process. And change scope is breadth, depth, complexity, and context for the proposed change, naturally. So what's the change scope? Change scope is changes to IT systems are initiated for several reasons. Each of the following triggers can lead to IT change: create new capability, achieve an organizational objective by enhancing existing capability, facilitate an operational involvement, so efficiency, effectiveness, improvement, maintain an existing information technology system. Sometimes you need to maintain it, and maintenance is crucial here, but you have to think about it in a way where or if something's already working, it's between software and hardware, correct? So technically it's working. Why would we maintain it? Well, the idea is maybe we're doing things in a way that's basically small, that's not efficient and not effective on its own. So something that's already working, we don't have to change the system, we just have to change the architecture of the system, which means, and not necessarily the architecture of the system, it's just, I don't know, man. If you change hardware, maybe the software requires a bit of updating. The reason for that is maybe you need to write better code so that the hardware doesn't heat up, right? All these things are maintenance. Repair a broken information technology system is undertaken when an IT system that is not performing as expected. So basically, create a new organizational capacity can be executed to transform the organization, like you start something new. These types of IT initiatives may drive creation of larger programs to address non-changes, but centered around technology that alters the business environment. Simple. Achieve an organizational objective by enhancing an existing capability is part of the change that meets the defined need. That this may include changes to meet regulatory requirements or that enable business-specific goals. And then facilitate an operational improvement is undertaken to improve organizational efficiency to reduce organizational risk. So if we have something that's already there, we kind of like facilitate its improvement. To change scope, organization maturity, and solution impact dictate whether these changes will be managed as a project part or a continuous improvement effort on an enhancement. Maintain an existing information technology system is undertaken to ensure a smooth operation of an existing IT system depending on the scope of the change. Maintenance to be managed as a project or regularly scheduled activity. So this may include technology-driven changes such as vendor discontinuing support of a technology, right? Like the maintenance that we just talked about. So let's dive deep, and other than that, we just repair broken information systems. Like, is this what we want? Yes. It's not, then we have to fix it, change it, or build something new. Information technology initiatives may focus on a single system or multiple systems which interact with each other, the breadth of change. Some systems are developed and maintained in-house, while others are commercial off-the-shelf systems. COTS systems, like you either kind of like get a software engineer to build it, or you bring somebody that has built someone before and you use it. If you look at your computer and you're using Microsoft, instead of you building basically an operating system on your computer, you kind of are using what Microsoft has built. It is also possible that the external organization completes custom development, such as when development tasks are outsourced or contracted. A scope of an IT initiative is often narrowly focused on software, hardware, and a minimal set of systems, applications, or stakeholders. Larger initiatives may impact multiple user groups or systems. So normally IT is kind of like limited, but ultimately it impacts a lot of users. Implementation of an information technology system may begin with a small limited scope when the change is initiated, but after analysis is complete, the scope is broader than the original anticipated. The business analyst approach for a COTS section and implementation is approached differently than in-house development. These IT systems almost always require customization, integration, administration, and training. Like, any new system requires people to understand how to work on it, right? Like, I don't know, you can figure it out, but most of the time what we do is we kind of like understand it, we learn it, we read the documentation, we get somebody to train us. IT initiatives may also focus on a very specific technology solution, such as what data is needed, how data is gathered. Now it is stored and accessed in order to support business transaction methods or how information is reported and available to the business groups. Business analysts working in IT carefully consider the context of any information technology change. They consider whether the change is managed as a project, a continuous improvement, or a maintenance activity. Business analysts also consider organizational change management and impacts, including training, communications, and adoption. Like, again, imagine like every single person has a computer, every single person has a phone. You're always working on some form of IT system. And all of them at one point were kind of like, you had to learn, you had to develop, you had to build around it. So the nature of business analysis activities in IT environment depend on a variety of solution of impact factors. What happens to the business is if the system shuts down, what happens to if the system performance degrades. Degrades for multiple reasons, including just kind of like, I don't know, different departments using it wrong. What business capabilities and processes depend on the IT system, who contributes to the capabilities and processes, and the people that are basically capabilities and processes, who are they, right? Who contributes and who uses those capabilities and processes. When considering these solutions, impact factors not only do business analysts match the formality of the analysis activities to the business analysis process, like I think we talked about this when we were writing like a story, a data story. This goes to this, goes to this, goes to this, and is consumed by this. So IT is everything in between. The importance of the system under analysis may indicate the more analysis needed to support and define the requirements of the change. Yeah, like ultimately you kind of like have to model smaller pieces of the flow and then ultimately realize where details are needed. Or you model the whole thing and you just kind of like build it and then build on top of it. And so what's the depth of the change? Changes in IT environment frequently require a business analyst. Remember here, what we're doing is the breadth of the change. The breadth of the change, where does it impact, and all the stakeholders in between, dude. Changes in IT development environment frequently require the business analyst to define explicit details, including technical details such as definition of individual data elements being manipulated or impacted by the change. Integration effort can require analysis and definition in a great level of detail while identifying and defining the interfaces between IT systems. Due to the level of detail required in these types of initiative, business analysts elicit and analyze how the organization works as a whole and how the IT system will support those operations. This provides the necessary context in the business analyst to understand whether the details being discovered and documented are relevant to delivering value. This can be particularly challenging when IT system change is initiated or technology-driven lessons, but without sufficient clarity or alignment to business purposes. Information technology systems are implemented to increase organizational value, which includes any support capabilities and processes that use system business analysts seek to align IT functionality to these processes and capabilities and to measure the effect that the system has on them. Changes to IT systems can increase value and solutions delivered, right? So here the information technology systems are implemented to increase organizational value. Like all of this here, right, is just kind of like describing like, the things that would change, the depth of the change, the limitations of the change, and everything involved and that could be touched by the change. Here we're talking about the value and the solutions that we can be delivered. So the changes to IT system can increase value in many ways, reducing operating costs, decrease wasted effort, increase strategic alignment to the value, to the vision or mission or whatever you're doing, increase reliability and stability, automate error-prone and manual processes, repairing problems, making it possible to scale up, enhance, and make more readily available business capability, and implementing new functionality and new capabilities. Right, like change happens in multiple ways, like not fucking up versus doing something right? Delivery approach. The delivery business analyst activities with IT organization varies greatly and depends on each layer of management specifically, because some layers of management just need to report, some layers of management need to input, and everything in between. And range small enhancement efforts to complete with a single short-term frame release schedule to multi-release phase implementations. So how you deliver it depends on you and what you actually plan for the organization. Short time frame initiatives may involve a single business analyst for a short period of time. Larger efforts frequently involve. All right. Short time initiatives may involve a single business analyst for a short period of time. Larger efforts frequently involve several business analysts who coordinate analysis activities. The following is a list of major assumptions of the IT discipline. Business capabilities and processes that use an IT system are delivering value to the organization. Business analysts working on the perspectives can integrate their work with the work of the IT business analyst. IT system changes are usually driven by business need, though some initiatives may originate from the technology development. All right, what are we assuming here? We're assuming business capabilities and processes that use IT system are delivering value. Sometimes they don't. Business analysts working for the perspective can integrate their work with the work of the IT business analyst. Sometimes they don't. IT systems changes are usually driven by business need, although some initiatives may originate from within the technology departments. Sometimes they don't. As always, we have the business analysis scope after the change scope. The change sponsor. Information technology changes may be requested by sponsors or sponsored by business sponsors, IT departments, or as collaboration between the two. These changes should align to the organizational strategy and business goals. It is possible for an IT department to initiate change to align with technical strategy and reach technical goals, but an overall organizational strategy alignment is still crucial for change success. Alignment is the key here, right? The business analysis scope requires a business analyst in order to create that alignment. The following list represents possible change sponsors: technical team, technical executive, application owner, process owner, business owner, internal product manager, and regulatory representative. Okay. Enterprises may use many methods to initiate changes related to information technology. Frequently, large enterprises define a program or project management office within the IT department which intakes requests and prioritizes efforts on behalf of the department. What's the change target? Business analysts identify possible departments, processes, applications, and functions. That's what they do. And then basically it does not only focus on the details of the initiative, but also keeps an eye on the larger picture where the potential impact of both business and technical on the change. This involves a level of process and functional analysis with specific focus on both technical interfaces as well as process handoffs. Amazing. And then business analyst position within an IT initiative. A business analyst activities may be filled by personnel with several types of background and job titles with the organization. This assignment may be dependent upon the type of change, the level of experience, knowledge needed, simply the personnel available to staff the effort. The personnel may be assigned to the business analysis tasks due to the experience described below, and may complete some of the business analysis responsibilities or given change. Like, I tend to try to focus when they're talking about this shit, but they're repeating the same thing. It's possible that the business analysis task for an IT project may be completed by a person with only one of these backgrounds, right? Like, what the fuck is this? But ultimately what they're saying is our position is basically to connect with these people, to understand these people, to maintain the scope of what we're trying to do, to understand what the solution is going to deliver, and to kind of like have that conversation with all of them. It's always what they're doing. One of the backgrounds is business analysts who specifically with the business users of an IT system, an IT business analyst who's designated liaison between technical team and business group, a subject matter expert SME experience with the current software implementation, a software user experience with the daily activity of how the software is used and can focus on usability, a system analyst who has experience with business domain but does not have experience with specific applications, a business process owner who has a depth of experience with the business capabilities of processes, but may not have had any technical or IT experience, a technical person with a depth of technical experience, or the COTS representative who would allow for, or a guy that comes with the company who would basically allow for customized implementations on a packaged solution. I don't know, this is nonsense, bro, honestly. These parts are literally just giving us as much examples as they could. And I imagine the reason they do that is so that they could actually have a شو اسمه. It's because this is used as a documentation. This book is used as a documentation. So ultimately, like, what we're doing is we're kind of like testing this with this, with this, with this, with this. Right, that's all we're doing. Like, so we go like, okay, I'm thinking of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's look at the book and the examples they gave us and see where we are with that. Business analysis outcomes. With an IT initiative, a business analyst may consider business processes impacted by the change, as well as the data and business intelligence information collected by the system. Business analysts working in the initiative thoroughly plan the business analysis effort and deliverables that support the change. The change approach may be utilized as a direct impact of business analysis deliverables or outcomes. Many organizations have a defined system or solution development methodology which to some extent dictates the deliverables which are required at each project milestone. Now here we're talking about company basically documentation, protocol, or knowledge, yeah, or demand, right? Like, as a company we do this way or else fuck it. Even within the context of the structure, the business analyst may seek to complete additional deliverables beyond those required by the change approach or organization-specific processes, and employ techniques which support the comprehensive understanding of the change effort needed. Business analysts working in the IT discipline are responsible for delivering any of the following: All right, so I think this is basically like, what are the outcomes? Analysis of alternatives, business rules, gap analysis, functional decomposition. What they're saying here, like, is that here, every business has its own way of doing things, right? And our job is to be within those and actually like, kind of like deliver business rules, gap analysis, functional decomposition, use cases, scenarios, interface analysis, prototypes. Because we're kind of like pointing at a solution or updating a solution or hanging out or making sure the solution does better. State models, decision models, context models, scope models, data models, all of these. Additional deliverables not included in the above list, but relating to any of the outputs of the business analysis techniques used may also be considered deliverables for the business analyst. Like, again, like really, like all they're doing is they keep giving us examples. That's all they do. 13.3 methodologies, amazing. All right, and methodologies, what are we doing now? Methodologies followed by information technology organization vary widely. In general, solution development methodologies fall into two generic approaches, predictive and adaptive. The methodologies with the business intelligence were predictive. Wait, what were they? Descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. All right, because we describe what happened before as a result, and then basically we work our way to predict and prescribe what we need to do. Predictive structured processes which emphasize planning and formal documentation of the process. You can probably do that because you're working with technology, right? So ultimately you can probably predict what comes out because it's IT, it's software. How people use it though is probably where the adaptive process is. Complete change, each phase of the process sequence of completed before advancing to the next phase, that's predictive. Adaptive, which allow for networking within one or more of the overall structure, process cycles. Most adaptive models are both iterative and incremental, focusing on growing the product on both breadth and depth. A hybrid methodology may also be utilized. A hybrid may include an overall vision for the whole initiative as predictive, as well as definition of details within the individual cycles of iteration as an adaptive. The following table identifies several established methodologies of approach. What a business analyst practicing in an information technology environment may encounter. The following table identifies several established methodologies or approaches that a business analyst practicing in an information technology environment may encounter. What's the methodology? Homegrown or organizational specific. This feels like it's a methodology which is derived from the components of other established methodologies or approaches, may be created by an information technology organization to govern information technology-based initiative. I'd follow the name, which is basically like, all right, we're doing this for this specific organization. Homegrown, as in we built it ourselves. Organization specific, as in we bought, what did they call it here? Hawk or clock? COTS. COTS, if you guys remember, is basically stay with me. What? All the way up here, COTS. Commercial off-the-shelf systems, as in you just bought the system from somewhere. Requirements engineering establishes a structured approach for requirements development and managed and is used for predictive, adaptive, and agile environments. Requirements engineering is more like, what is required from us to do, and then we test how to approach it, right? Structured system analysis and design, this is more dynamic or basically adaptive instead of predictive. Structured systems analysis and design method, a predictive development methodology that focuses on established logical modeling and the separation of requirements from solutions as central to systems analysis and specifications. A predictive development methodology that focuses on established logical modeling and the separation of requirements from solutions as central to the system. Like, structured system analysis and design method, like they analyze, they check the requirements, and then they create the solution. That separation is very important. While with everything else before that, they were just doing everything all at once. A unified process and adaptive development approach. This inception and elaboration phases one of the particular interests to business analysts. UP is not considered agile, but is adaptive methodology. So it's just they do it, the elaboration phases of particular interest to business analysts. So effectively what they're doing is they're kind of like elaborating on each individual phase and slowly basically building around it. And that is part one for basically the IT perspective. Yay.